streaming right now. Hunter, you still here? Yeah, we're double streaming right now. All right, the cameras are pointing towards me. And then, yeah. So now we're, sorry about this. So I'm doing a vertical live and I'm also doing a horizontal live at the same time. And because of that, the horizontal live started and then I had an error with the vertical live. So I had to kind of play around and get stuff restarted. So, but yeah, so today what we're going to do is actually fix this dirt bike in the back here because of that one, the wheel bearing actually broke in the back. One wheel bearing broke and then the second one broke, like it started to break right after. We're going to show you here what's going on with everything. We received the part, I ordered the parts from Amazon. I think we're going to have to close this. It's too bright outside, Hunter. Can you go and close it, please?
I don't really care anymore if my face is in it.
No, you're sure?
Yeah. My face is fine.
Yeah, that's true. I did lots of video with you that your face is in it.
Yeah.
I guess it's because you wanted to do your TikTok face review. Eh? Oh, you know what? I forgot to start the microphone too. Another mic somewhere. Yeah, this one has a mic. Okay, so yeah, today we're going to do some, hey guys, so hi Sophie, hi Justin. So today we're going to do some, we're doing live stream on two platforms. So we're doing live stream on vertical live and also live stream, that's where I got two microphones, also live stream on horizontal live. So I got Hunter with me. So you get this dirt bike. And what happened the other day, it started to drive and then you were hearing a little noise in there, right?
Yeah.
It was like clicking a little bit. We were not sure if it was a bushing or what was going on. It was creaking. And then all of a sudden, what happened? How did you find out what was going on?
All right, so I was riding like through trails and then on my way back home, like I kept hearing kind of like a clinking sound. And I thought it was from my front wheel, but it was actually from my back wheel and the bearing ended up breaking. So we ordered new bearings and a new axle because the rear axle was bent.
Yeah, so what happened is when the wheel bearing actually bent, it's bending this rod a little bit at the same time. It's hard to see on camera. Usually if we put it on a counter or something like that, then you can see that there's a little loop at the bottom of this bar here. I guess it's a bolt. So the bolt that is in there, so let's reset for a second there. So actually the bike is Apollo dirt bike, which is a Chinese dirt bike. And yeah, so what's going on with it, the parts are a little bit hard to find, but we were able to source them on Amazon actually, measure the parts that we had, and then match them up and order. Actually, we had to order a couple of times because the first time we measured a little bit wrong and it didn't quite work. Oh, Ellie is there. Yeah, that's a nice bike, she says.
Thanks.
Hey, Ellie. So, all right, so all of those bikes, they actually have all the parts and matrix system on there. So we needed to use a ruler because unfortunately I got some YOB tape measure, and with the YOB tape measure it only gave me standard. So so we had to use the ruler, try to match it. And the first pin that we bought was actually a 220 millimeter, which ended up being short by like this much, just a few threads, just to say that like, you know, you're not would not quite fit there and hold everything secure. So now we end up ordering a 230 mil, and this one is actually a little bit.
Isn't that one a 240?
No, it's the 230 that we end up ordering. So that's a 12 millimeter in diameter, and it's actually a 230 millimeter in length. So it's actually a little bit longer than the one that was previously on the bike, but there's no problem with that. We can add a couple washer if we need to. So yeah, so we get the boat. The boat, actually, the kit that we order on Amazon after finding out how to measure it properly, actually came with new spacers. So the old one has spacers like this. You can see how chewed up this is. And yeah, so what happened, it's you have some seals that are on the other side of your bearing that are going to you know, hold your axle and your wheel turning properly. And yeah, you get all crappy, and the seal actually will sit on top. So your pin goes right through like this, and then your seal is actually sitting on top because the bearing are sealed anyway. But to make sure there's not too much dirt going into it, then they actually add another seal onto the outside of the bearing. All right, so yeah, so we have new nuts that came with it. There's a kit. We might have to reuse this bushing here because it doesn't come with a long one like this. It just comes with short one. The old one had short one, so but there's different sizes in here, so we'll be able to figure out exactly what we need. All right, so and the bearing. So the bearing, when I ordered those on Amazon, what happened is you first get the bearing, we measured it. It's supposed to be 37. Where's the old bearing, do you know? So it's supposed to be like 37 millimeter outside diameter, and then the inside diameter, because it's a 12 mil, it's actually the whole inside is 12 millimeter too, and then it's 7 millimeter thick. And when I ordered the first set of bearing with the seals were right, but the bearing actually, they give you two different sizes of bearing. So, and we needed two bearing that are the same. So anyway, I reordered that. Now those here are sealed bearings, so they already have grease in here. And then what's happening is that the rubber is keeping the grease in here clean, so that your bearing can roll into those ball bearing and won't have no dirt, or shouldn't have any dirt affecting it. So we got the new bearings now, and we have the new seals for it. So the seals are actually, because of the spacer, or instead of, so the bolt is 12 mils, the spacers are 20. So those bearing here are 37 per 12 because the bolt goes in, but now the seals goes around your spacer. So, and the spacers are 20, so you need 37 per 20 for the Apollo bike. Now, which model of Apollo bike is it, Hunter?
This model is the Apollo RFZ 125.
All right, so that's the part that you can expect to have to get if you have an Apollo. What is it?
RFC.
RFC. All right, sorry. He did all the research about this bike. He bought the bike. I was just involved with my pickup truck to go pick it up, and now, you know, I'm a mechanic, so I'm involved in trying to fix it. All right. So anyway, enough of this little talk here. Let's start putting those wheel bearing together. So we already have the whole wheel bearing off, and we're going to reset stuff with the new wheel bearing and show you what we have to do for this. So I'll bring the cameras down. What we're going to have to do is actually, because we're going to have to bang them in, so we're going to have to remove the sprocket, and we're also going to have to remove, this is the
disc brake.
Yeah, the disc brake, so the roller. So we have to remove the roller so that like that when we bang it on the ground, it doesn't damage it. So for those, there are two different sizes of bolt. So do you remember which size? They were Allen key, right? So Allen bolt for this side, and then on the other side here, this is 10 millimeter head. So we have to have the 10 mil. Yeah, so you want to come here and just try that Allen key. Maybe this is the right one.
That might be this one.
Yeah. Is it?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So now I think we're going to have to do that outside because I don't know if you guys have been following the channel, but we got some pretty nice floor in here. Actually, we can use the piece of plywood to do that in here. Trouble is we tried to open the garage earlier and there's way too much light, so it's very hard for this way of filming to be able to see what's going on. So we're just going to use a piece of plywood. I'm going to set this up. What do you guys think of this floor, eh? So it's the Modulus floor. I got green and light gray. Yeah, this one is light gray. It makes the garage looks pretty cool. All right, set up the space. Like that, you can bang on things, and actually not to break the floor because the trouble is that floor is nice and comfortable and stuff, but it's made of the plastic. So if you bang too hard on it, you'll have to replace it. It's pretty pricey. It was like $7 or $8 a tile, so it goes fast. All right. So what are you looking for right now? I'll show you around a little bit there. See what he's up to. Right now he's going to the toolboxes. So we have the wall of tool at the back here, and we have two toolbox back to back, so you can have access to it on each side. Justin saying, you're a legend as a father for teaching your son and community. Thanks, Justin. All right, so yeah, we're going to start doing all this here. Okay, so we have our new parts here. Doesn't take long at the bench to look like a mess, even though we have lots of workspace. Okay, so we have the gun, we're ready to go. The axle, the first thing that we're gonna have to do though is take this sprocket and just do break off. Yeah, so what do you guys think of the background for the garage here? That the wall of tool in the back there. You may like or work hard on that. All right, we'll set those on the ground. Come over here with the, we have to roll the tire over there and put it on the piece of plywood. And then we have to start removing the parts. Now remember, we just put the parts in tight last time, so we just have to remove them. Should be able to remove everything by hand. And then those were stuck on the blue Loctite, right? So I'm going to have to put blue Loctite after. So let's see if we can set up those guys here so that everybody can see what we're up to.
Got the sprocket off.
All right, so the sprocket is off. We're gonna turn this over. Perfect. So we're gonna keep the bolts together with everything so we don't misplace stuff. Okay, so after you have this removed, now you have access to those bearings. To remove the bearings out of there, what we're using was a punch. After everything is removed, you use this on a 2x4 side to side. So you have the center of the hub nice and free so that you can actually push the bearing out from underneath. So you'll have it set up on 2x4s like this, which we don't need 2x4s right now because the bearings are already out. Now we need to put the bearings back in. But I just wanted you to know how we were taking the bearings out before. So it was a long punch, just punch it to the edge of the bearing completely on the other side, and then you'll come out. Now you have to keep rotating as you're punching, keep rotating and punch at different spot all the time because you don't want the bearing to end up going crooked on you, or what's gonna happen, it's gonna make it way harder to remove. Okay, so we have a sledgehammer here. Now it looks overkill, but we're going to use that because it's going to be actually covering most of the surface of the socket. So the socket that we're using, this is a little trick here. If you don't have puller and other things like that, or bearing installer, you can always get away with sockets. So what we're going to do here is, let's see. So this is a 1-inch socket, and this one is just a little bit smaller than the bearing. So it fits in the hub, but it's still loose. And when you put it against the bearing, it's pretty much, it looks almost the same size of the bearing. So the important thing to do here is you do not want to hit that rubber piece or plastic piece that covered the ball and all of the grease inside the bearing, because then you can get contamination going in there. It's gonna rust, you'll have dirt, it's gonna break apart really quick. So we want to just hit the edge here. You also don't want to hit the center, because if you hit the center and you punch it out too hard, then you're putting lots of pressure on those balls sideways. And what's going on here is the ball are made so that this ring here is actually holding your tire, the center of your tire, and then the pressure of your bike and you riding it comes from above here. So those balls are made to be able to have pressure up and down like this, not sideways. If you're putting pressure sideways, it'll break down. So what we want to do is just, when we install the bearing, hit the side here. So now if you don't have a socket that can do that, you can grab a punch and start hitting side, like going around, hitting lightly and driving your bearing into your hub. But it does a way better job and it goes way more nice and straight if you can use a socket. So what we're going to do right now is, so usually on bearings, you'll have one side that tells you what the bearing number is, and then the other side might not tell you. I think this one actually does on both sides, but sometimes it doesn't. So one little tip out there is try to put the side that tells you which bearing number it is outer, so that when you start taking stuff apart, you can actually know what bearing you're going to need to replace that. All right, so now we're going to set this bearing in here. So it's pretty tight. It won't fit in. And then we're going to put the socket on top. And we want to put the socket with the opening towards the bearing. So like that, we're making sure we're not putting any pressure to the center of it, okay? Now, I'm gonna have to do that with the wrong end here. I usually swing with my right hand, but for this we'll swing with the left hand. So I don't know, you guys might see me hit the finger. Hopefully not. All right, so now, so that's what I was saying about the hammer. We want the hammer with a big surface so it hits most of the socket all at once. Okay, make sure you kind of hold the bearing in the same time in the socket. Make sure that to touch the bearing so you don't end up pinching your finger in here. Okay. Now, if the bearing goes crooked when you're doing that, then just hit the side of the socket where the bearing is actually standing up the most. And then it should put everything back level. So we hit bottom now. As you can see, like the socket bounce a little bit after I do a hit. So that means that we're actually, the bearing is set where it needed to go. So it's perfect. So now we should have space to put our seal in here. Now we're going to look inside just to make sure that it is actually sitting where it's supposed to go. Actually, I think it needs to go a little bit more. So there's not that much space for the seal here, so maybe I was wrong. Let's get another couple of hits.
There we go.
Oh yeah, it's going further down. So okay, so let's look at everything is sitted. Everything is sitted perfectly straight in here. There's enough space for our seal to go. Now we can put our seal in right away, and then after that we can flip it. The reason why we took all of this out is because even if that was like this, let's say, and then we're like hitting it and it's facing down underneath, then we're have a chance of bending pieces. So it's better to just, start removing it, save yourself the hassle of having to change extra parts, right? All right, so to install the seal, it's gonna be the exact same thing, okay, Hunter? So you can do that.
All right.
So the seal here, seals usually have sorry, I'm trying to show that to stream at once. Okay, so the seal, the edge here will have actually a lip pointing upwards and sometimes a lip pointing downwards too. Yeah, this one actually have only one lip pointing upwards. So what's going on here, you want to have this face of the seal sticking outwards, because if you put it like this, you can see how it's tapered, but it's tapered so that if there's any water pressure or anything like that, because you're going through a puddle, then it can get in. So you don't want it to get in. This side is taper outwards. So like that, nothing can go into that seal here. So this is the way that we're going to install it in here, okay? And usually too, you can tell too how to put the seal because we'll have a spring to hold pressure. Hold pressure and the rubber inside the seal. Okay. Yeah, put your socket. Don't hit it too hard. Nice and gentle with the seal. Make sure it goes nice and straight. You see it's going a little bit more there. Yeah. that more on this side of the socket here.
Here.
Oh yeah, starting to go in. Good job, Hunter. All right, so it looks like it's against the bearing. No problem.
No, it still has about like maybe a
okay,
little.
so for the seal, the center part is not going to touch the bearing.
Yeah.
Because the center part is thinner compared to the outer part. The outer part is the one that is 7 mils. The inner part is going to be smaller. Let me, while you're finishing that, I'll go get another seal and I'll show you guys.
All right.
That's them?
Yep.
Perfect. I want to show them with the old bearing. That's actually the good one out of both bearing. Here, I want to show them the
so
inside when the cage broke or the plastic.
This one is the better out of the two bearings, but you can see it's broken here, and then it just barely spins now. You can just you can hear it. All of these are bent. And the other one, everything fell apart.
Cage. Yeah, that's the cage that holds the bearings.
But on the other bearing, it was even worse because everything fell apart. There were no more balls, and the cage was just crumbled up like a piece of paper.
So now for bearings, you're going to have different style of bearings and different balls or rollers in your bearing, depending what kind of bearing you have. Show me that for a second. So those are called ball bearings because they have little balls in there. So you can have roller bearings that are just like a little cylinder pin that goes right across your bearing. And the other bearing that you can have is a taper bearing. So you're going to have those little pin bearing or roller bearing, and those one are going to be a taper shape like a cone, and this is usually for heavier equipment so that so that you're putting pressure and the bearing doesn't want to come out. So usually you'll have the bigger part of the bearing outside of the machine and then the smaller part inside. Like that makes everything run center and it doesn't flop around there. But there's special ways to adjust those. Those are more simple. They're just ball bearings. They're flat on each side, so it doesn't really matter which way you're putting those in. Oh, that's the whole bearing.
Yeah, this is the other bearing. Everything just fell out, and this is the cage. We just have one ball bearing left.
Yeah, that cage was busted big time, eh? So So anyway, we ended up ordering a couple, one bearing that was wrong, but it gives us one spare bearings that we're going to have. Okay, so we're talking about the seal a second ago, and I was saying to Hunter that you cannot look into the center of that seal and think it's going to touch the bearing, because the center part is actually smaller. It doesn't go right to the edge. It's not as thick as the seal. So only the outer part is the 7 mils for those seals. So even though it's not touching in here, everything is fine. One other thing that you can do too is after you're done installing everything, put your finger in there. So here's the wheel. Put your finger in the center of the bearing and then just try to turn it by hand to make sure that everything is nice and free. Because if the bearing is crooked, or if you hit the plastic piece and the ring outside of the rubber, then it's gonna push against the ball and you're going to have trouble to turn it. So now we know that this side is done properly. Now before we reinstall the sprocket and the caliper, not caliper, but the disc brake, we're going to turn it around and install everything on this side too. You want to install the bearing?
And I'll do the seals, you can do the
One other thing with the bearing here is it can only go so far into the hub because there's actually, it's hard to see here without the flashlight, but there's actually a lip. So you punch your bearing all the way to that lip and it's gonna keep everything centered. All right.
There's a light if we need it.
Yeah. The other thing I was thinking too is we might need to put the pin into the center of your hub right now. Just pass it to me, the long one, long spacer. Because that might need to be in between the bearing, I don't know. Let me see above the lip. Yeah, so it does go to the bearing and it does come all the way to the lip here. So we need to have that piece in the center. So no problem with that though. I can move it with the screwdriver more center after. So we can install the bearing. But so what's happening with this here, it's going to put some pressure onto the center of the bearing, of both bearing, so that if you have pressure on the wheel of your dirt bike trying to shift side to side, it's not actually pushing and putting pressure sideways onto the center piece of your bearing. So it's gonna keep the space. Now, this rod here looks like crap, and don't worry about it. That's probably because the hold owner probably had a pin that broke and everything started to turn in here, or just because the bearing broke and it still rolled it for a bit. So this is where all the grooves are in here, but it really doesn't matter. It's just to support the center of our bearing, so everything is gonna run smooth and there's lots of space around the hub, so nothing's gonna happen here. We can install that, no problem. So, oh, this is one I was able to push it right by hand like this. So what this means is that if you can push it by hand, one thing that we have to start thinking about is that so one bearing probably seized in here before and that's spinning out. So there's a little bit of play on the hub on this side. So later on, maybe in a year, maybe in 2 years, maybe in 3 years, or if the bearing ends up seizing again in there or something, then we might end up needing a new hub if there's too much pressure, if there's too much play in here. But I cannot, there's tiny little play. But if I turn the center of the bearing, it's actually not turning the whole bearing, so there's not too much play. It'll still pass. Okay, so now we're gonna put the seal. The seal, I expect that the seal is gonna do the exact same thing because they're both 37 mil, right? So I'm gonna try to push it. Oh no, this one's a little bit harder because it's actually rubber. You want to put it in?
Sure.
Make sure you're hitting the outside of your seal, right? You don't want to bend the inside of it. So this side towards me is a little bit higher. This. Take the socket off and see how much room you have. Okay, it looks like everything's still going down.
Seems like that might be it.
Yeah. I would put more in that. Okay, so what we're going to have to do now is actually find the spacers that I need to go inside the seal on the outside. And the other thing that we can do now too, before we try to reassemble everything, and because if everything is not that straight in here, we're going to have lots of trouble to put this bolt in. So right now is the perfect time to actually move this sideways, put it on one of the bearing, and then everything kind of, when the center pin moves, like the center spacer moves, so no problem here. So everything went nice and true. If for some reason you install the bearing and it's not going in because something is crooked a little bit, one thing that you can do is actually re-tap your bearing with the socket. But if you already have the seal and you're afraid that you're going to rip everything apart there, what you're going to do is actually put your wheel sideways like this. And then what you can do is just tap your pin a little bit and keep rotating your pin in your wheel and just tap it until everything is nice and free. And that should reset the bearing so that everything won't go straight. Now, I'm not going to put this bolt in right now because that needs to get put in after we assemble the wheel back. So the first thing that we're going to do right now is just try our spacer, see which spacer we might need. So we have different sizes of spacer here. So this is way too big, I think. This one seems to fit okay. This one also seems to fit okay. We're going to have to play with the wheel after, but we might need the other one, an old one that is that size too. But yeah, let's see if you can find another one that's the same size as that. And then we're also going to re-put everything now. So there's another one the same size.
Yep.
So we might have to reuse that one, that spacer here. But when we put the wheel on, we're gonna see, because they might not be the same spacer on each side, because remember on one side you actually have your caliper with your brake.
Yeah.
So that side might be pushed a little bit more out. So you might need a longer spacer on the opposite side.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sorry, guys. All right. So I'll let you put those both in. I actually have blue Loctite. I'll go get that right now. And then we're going to dip all of those both on there. Or put a little drop of blue Loctite on everything. Okay. Got it right here. I'm not sure what goes on this side. I think it's the brake.
Yeah, it should. It might actually be the sprocket.
You guys see better at this?
Yeah, this side's the sprocket.
Actually, that's a clamp light, so we can maybe put it a little bit higher somewhere. There, I'll put it on the bike. Good. It's not working. Yeah, just on the bike shining down like this. Give a bit more light. It's easier for everybody to see.
But one thing that you shouldn't get worried about is these are two different sizes in the middle. So for on this side, the disc brake won't actually fit. So don't try hitting it in with a hammer or anything. This just means that these are too wide. And it's for the sprocket.
Ah, perfect. That's a good tip to know, eh? All right, so get the blue Loctite right here. So this blue Loctite isn't a tube. It's actually more a jelly style Loctite. So that actually, this one you have to roll the bottom to get a little bit of Loctite to come out of the tap here. And for Loctite, you don't need to put too much. Just a little dab like this at the end of the thread, and that's going to be good. They're giving those to me. You can get your boat started, and I'll put some Loctite and everything. And this is because boats like this actually don't come with lock washers. So having a little bit of blue Loctite will make sure that they don't back off.
It's pretty hard for this one to go in past there.
So that first one is a little bit hard.
That one too.
You sure you're using the right boat, or is it the boat that goes onto the other side?
No, I think these are the right ones. No.
Sometimes with boat, what you do is you actually, it's not bad. Sometimes you just turn it the opposite way until it bounces, click a little bit, and then after that you can restart the thread and make sure that everything goes in perfect. So that's a 10 mil that you need for this. You choose a wrench for that. So a wrench, you can do it with a wrench,
I need
but
a socket.
a socket and a ratchet is going to go way faster. Now, if I use a wrench like this, I would use it onto the back end of the wrench, so that it's actually pointing up a little bit. That goes above your other boat, and then you can kind of roll it around like this, so it's actually not taking too long. And then when you start to do the other boat, then do the other boats. Yeah. So, like I said before, those are 10 mils. Well, they're not 10 mils. They're
Does
probably
this
8
one?
mils both, but they're 10 mil socket. So those socket under are going to be a little bit too big. Go on the other side of the toolbox into the socket drawer.
Okay. I don't see any 10s
No,
besides
on the
this
other
one.
side.
Oh.
No, we're going to actually just, so we don't need to use an impact gun on those. They're pretty small. Yeah. We're almost done already. Oh man, it's taking too long. Yeah, come over. It's your bike. You need to do most of the work. I'm just here to entertain everybody and do the talking. I don't know if you guys saw, but I have the link for Team Waller in the description. And this is actually Mr. Beast and Mark Rober charity. We're trying to raise $40 million by the end of August to give clean water to 2 million people for a few decades. So usually $1 will give one person water for 1 year. So far, we raised, since the beginning of August, we raised over $10 million. So we're able to give 1 million people water for 10 years, clean water for 10 years. So we're trying to aim for the 40 million so that everybody can be more comfortable. So if you can, if you give any donation to the channel right now, all the donations are going to get donated to Clean Water at the end of August. And but if you rather go and click the link and do your donation directly, you can do that too. Now, no donation needed there. You can just watch what we're doing for free. But yeah, anything help, and we're just trying to, use the platform and the channel to be able to give back to people in need. Okay, so you already flipped the wheel, or you just need lactate on this side, eh? One of us stepped on lactate earlier. We're doing little blue Smurf track there. Here's one. I put a little bit too much on there. Sometimes when you put a bit too much, what you can do, it's just rub two together. So yeah, you just go like this. Okay. The blue lactate needs to be close to the end of the boat usually, because that's the thread that you want to catch with that. I think I have another comment there. Hey man, I heard you are already good at playing the skin flute. Nice. So looks like we have a little troll on here. Yeah, that's what happened.
That's fine.
All right. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. We're almost done. Dogs are barking inside. Can you guys hear that? We have two dogs. One rough collie mixed with a corgi, so it's a long dog with short little paws. And then we have, because he has full body of rough collie, but the paws of a corgi. And then we also have
Mini Australian Shepherd.
Yeah, miniature Australian Shepherd, which is the blue Australian Shepherd. So she's kind of like grayish blue with white and black. So little female. She's full grown right now, and she's probably just like this long here. And she's still bossing the big dog around. They're smart dogs, those dogs, eh?
Yeah.
Can teach her how to do that sort of stuff.
She already knows how to almost open every door in the house.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going through the gate to the neighbor the other day, and then she's just looking at what we're doing. She wants to come, and we close the gate in front of her, and then she ended up like just figuring out that she can push the lock open with her nose, eh?
Yeah.
And she's trying to figure out how to pull the door in the same time, but it didn't quite work. Okay. So now we're going to have to change the camera angle. I think we're going to have to open the door, because we'll have to come from the back way of the bike here, so everybody can see how we're going to set up everything. All right. The other thing that we're going to have to do after we're at find for the lock bolts there for adjusting the back
Oh
wheels.
yeah, the chain adjusters are right here. Right here.
Okay, we're just going to move those two strings over.
All right.
Okay, let's see what we can do.
I gotta go home.
This way.
I think everything over you take
The
me home.
best.
Okay.
Okay, here's the back of the bike. So now, I don't know if you guys can see that. I have to back up the boat on each side of the bike here, because we're going to have to push the wheel in quite a bit in order to fit the chain and the sprocket. All right, you remember which size of boat they were? Which size of nut?
No, I think they're like 12s or something.
Yeah, something like that. You guys ride their bike or ATV
I'll
or
try
anything like this?
13.
13?
This seems a
Yeah.
little big.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. No. Yeah. Okay, bring it 12. Might still be able to. Might still be able to use up everything. Oh yeah, I think for the nut inside we need to. Oh. Okay, we got the little metal sliver in here. All right. All good. That's part of the game. Okay, so I'm gonna back up the nut completely. And then after that, we'll drive the bolt back in. I don't think anybody can see here. I might have to put that on the other side here. You want to just move the wheel?
There we go.
There we go. Now, move the other screen too. Perfect. Sorry, that means there's no more room for you out there.
Yep.
Okay. So. Back that folder away, and we're going to bring our bolt in. Just gonna bring this in as much as we can. I'm gonna slide our wheel in more. Back up stuff. Want to see if we can break the nut loose on the other side?
All right.
The other side is bolt 13. And this side has the nut that's 12 and then the bolt 13.
Yeah, this nut doesn't.
Okay, and this, I don't want to put this tight because then it's going to be a problem to readjust that.
This one seems like it's already backed up all the way. Yep.
Yeah. It's backed up all the way?
The nut, yeah.
Oh, okay. So is the bolt grooved in all the way too?
I think so.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good. Okay. Perfect. So I'll just try to line up everything. We're gonna move the streamers. The sides so that everybody can see what's going on. Okay. I'll move the wheel over. I have to watch for a caliper in here. I'll move this on the other side. And then for the chain, you're gonna try to hold it like this. You're gonna go in more, hold the chain out on there, and then we're gonna just lift the wheel and try to make it full in here. You able to put it on?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Our chain is on now. Okay, so we got quite a bit of space on both sides. So now we need to figure out exactly what we have to do. So a caliper, you have,
Don't we need the spacers first?
yeah, we're going to need the spacer, but I just have to explain the caliper. It's going to have one hole here and then a slot on the other side. So the slot actually go into this piece here, and then the hole is going to go with our bolt into the side. Okay, so I think I need to put this in first. This was actually twisted like this. Put this on the side like that. It's actually this. That would have to. If I twist it like this way. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay. Oh, but I put it the wrong way. I'd actually have to go like on top of her roller. Okay. So I'll put in slap this. Put this down. Okay, so now we can see what kind of spacer we're going to need for this. Here. All right, bring me some spacers on there.
So do we need a longer one?
Yeah. Looks like we might need the long one. Yeah. Might need the long one for this side. I might need. Yeah, the long one. And then, do we have another long one from the old set?
From the old set? Yep.
Okay, actually, let's see here. Okay, so this side here, we need two spacers actually, different length. So the smaller spacer is gonna go towards the inside. Give me a small one. Might be able to go with all in here. Okay, small spacer in first into your seal. Now I should be able to, yeah.
Then there's the medium length one.
That's the medium one?
Yep.
Actually, I might need the medium one right now. I think that the way it's set up right now is going to put too much pressure onto your caliper. So I have to remove this one. And we're going to use the medium side. So everything sits with this. Oh yeah, way better. Okay, I think after that, I might have to put this one. Okay, but first, because everything is going crooked, it's a little bit hard to hold right now. So we're going to try to pull the wheel out a little bit and start our boat into our outer spacer on this side.
Up a little. Yep. Can it go any more back? Yeah, there we go. Okay, it's the inside like spacer that I need to rearrange now.
Okay, so you know what? Might just hold it like that for a minute, and then I'm just gonna remove this caliper for a second, and then I'll be able to give you a little bit more play up and down for that center spacer here.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, now back it up. Not too much. Okay, just like that. Stay like this.
Okay.
And now we're going to, so the bolt is just sticking out just a touch. So now I can put that medium spacer on there. Now bring the bolt to the edge of that medium spacer. Okay, right there. Now we're going to set our caliper back on. So make sure that the pad stays open. Okay, now bring the bolt in through this caliper. Okay, just like this. Just 1 second. Just want to see. Okay, so what's going on here is I think that this spacer is too thick. So you had one that was cut super small. Do you have it with you here?
The like super thin one?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah, was that not one that was even thinner than that? Yeah, there's one, I think it's on the bench over there.
Oh yeah. This one.
Yeah. So it looks like somebody cut this already. And that's the very thin one here. So this one is actually going to get put in here. Back up the bolt just a touch. Oh, not too much. Yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to put it back in. Just have to kind of put it in an angle here. So the trouble is, we want to have the spacer pretty much dead on because you don't want to have slap on your wheel going side to side in here. Try to push the bolt in a bit. Might not be able to go all the way, but
I can go more.
okay, go more.
I think. No, that's as far as I can go.
Okay, try that.
No, that's as far as it goes.
Okay, it's very at the edge here. Gonna try to push the wheel in more. Try that.
There we go.
Perfect. Okay. So now we're able to, yeah, put that spacer in good. Okay, so now the two pieces that we need to put now are those pieces.
Oh, we didn't do it on this side.
Oh no. You're right. We forget to put this onto this side of the bike. So now that means that we have to take that bolt back out. All right, let's try this. And hopefully we can just take everything out and stuff don't really move too much. But yeah, all right. I'm gonna try to hold it as best as I can. Might need a mallet, or you might need the okay. Never use a nickel mallet punch a bolt back in, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna down control your tread.
Rubber?
You'll never be able to stick your nut. Yeah, I can use, oh, actually, you just unscrew it, it
Oh.
goes right out.
Alright.
Okay, so now I have it partly out. I'm just gonna hold everything in place as best as I can. Be ready with your piece that you need to put on. Okay. All right, I'm just trying to hold it so nothing moves. Take it out.
Okay, now we need to do that the middle metal part.
Oh no, not the middle part. I'm not turning it far.
It's kind of pinching it right here, so I can't. Up there. Right. Just try turning it again.
I'm trying to turn it
Ooh,
fast enough. Whoops.
that was a little bit.
Okay. Trying to turn it.
Ooh. There we go.
Okay. Perfect. Keep going. Yeah, that's it. So we got it. All right. Now we're gonna go through the caliper. Yeah. Go ahead. Don't destroy my fingers.
Sorry.
This guy, I tell you. All right. Now I have to try to put this little tiny piece back in. Oops, I'm moving the whole bike on the
Okay.
stand there. Just trying to wiggle it. We got a new stand the other day. Well, this is actually a stand that we borrow from our friend. And then we purchased a stand. It's still in the box. So we purchased a stand from a company, Vivor. I think this one is also from Vivor. Oh no, this one is Motomaster. So that's a Canadian Tire one. So if you live in Canada, you know about Canadian Tire. I don't know if Canadian Tire is in the States or not. This here, I'm just gonna try to bring it down like this. Are you able to push? You're still putting pressure
No.
on there or no? Keep pressure on there. Turn it. The other way. Always try to screw when you're pushing it in. And then like that, those gonna try to pull your hardware in. Okay, I might be able to.
Do I still turn?
Yep. Just want to see if I'm able to pry this out a little bit. I might need a pry bar for it. Yeah, I need a pry bar, I think. And then, or maybe, let's see here, maybe I can line stuff up like this. Yeah, pry bar it is. All right. Okay, I remember the old garage is set up kind of new, so I don't remember exactly where I put everything. I got two pry bar here. I got a nice long one, a short one. Okay, so we're gonna try the short one at first. It's almost there. Okay, cool. Make sure you keep this rotated the right way.
We're not backing up so that this would go in. So
That's fine. We'll try it later.
yeah, but we need to move it this way so that the bolt could actually go in.
Well, the bolt can still go in quite a bit, right? Because the head is far from that bracket. Let's see. Oh, the bolt's pretty much. Oh, okay. Don't have to be much. I think I just have to raise the tire here and then push it. Oops, that's actually. All right, I have to take it back out a little bit. This is a little bit of a pain to get this started. There we go. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna just try everything over, and then we're gonna push the bolt.
Oh,
Yeah, need that.
out.
Yeah, I'm not done yet with the washer. Still have it in my hand here.
So like that.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna use the bigger pry bar. Just set this on top here. Okay. Okay, try to go in slowly. Yeah, keep turning it like that.
Yeah, it just came backwards. Oh, it gets stuck. Oh,
You go find a wrench or a socket for this. It'd be easier if we have a wrench or a socket. And you have a socket already in the gun for this bolt?
for this one?
Yeah. You need the big gun. Yeah.
What socket is it?
I don't know.
Then
Probably a 13.
okay.
Just bring the whole socket set here so we don't have to go back and forth. And I'm just trying to balance the tire, hold the ring and the pry bar together. I can't move. I got both hands and one foot occupied. My other foot, I'm sitting on it.
So 13.
Yeah.
13?
Yeah, try it. Just try it by hand. The other way.
Oh yeah. And that.
Okay, 15. Okay, just turn it now. Just by hand with the socket on it. That should give you enough power to turn it a little bit. Yeah. Turn it and push it in at the same time. Okay. Yep, keep going.
Like that?
Yeah. Okay. So now it looks like we're pretty much center. So I can put this thing on my side here. Okay. Now the trouble that we're having is the tire's crooked. and it needs to go a little bit more on my side. So what we need to do is cut up that belt, that chain tensioner, so that I can try to pull that tire towards me a bit. I think it pretty much worked.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, do I put the chain tensioner back?
Yeah.
Okay. And then tighten.
Yeah. Yeah. Now just push the bolt all the way.
There.
Yeah, all the way. Okay. Now we're gonna put our nut on there. There's a little bit of weight on this thread, but it's pretty good. I don't know. Are you guys able to see all this stuff? Probably not everything, eh? But you get the gist of it. It's a pain in the butt.
The horizontal live has the best view of it.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, usually for horizontal live, you need to advertise a little bit. I didn't advertise for this live, so, but usually people can watch after if they want to. Okay. So now I can take the pry bar out of there. All of the ring and everything should stay good. There we go. So now we got the bolt, the adjusters installed properly. We got the bolt and the adjuster on this side. Had to use the bigger spacer on this side here. And we have her brakes installed perfectly. I was able to rotate the caliper so that the loop of the hose is actually away from the tire. Before the caliper was actually originally installed and the loop was almost touching the tire all the time. So we're always trying to move the hose out a little bit, but so it sits even way better than when we first got the bike. All right, let's show a little bit about the horizontal live. So yeah, we got our spacer in here, or both. Our adjuster plate is installed on this side. Our both on the bigger spacers on this side. We have the adjuster plate installed here. So the bigger spacer was the outer spacer. The medium spacer was inside here. And then we had a little cut spacer that's in between the caliper and the outer plate, and the outer arm here that needed to get installed too. Okay, so now we're up to date with everything, and we just have to start tightening our wheel. Let's move this like that, so that it's easier for everybody to get. Well, live stream for an hour and 20 minutes.
Holy crap.
So we have a huge live stream right now. So if you guys have any machine, let us know. We're interested to know. It's an Apollo, like we said earlier. Okay, now I'm going to need a wrench or a socket for this side. Usually what you want to do is the nut end, you're using a wrench on it. So this side we're going to use a wrench.
Does this one
and,
fit?
I'm sorry, the bolt end, the nut end is the one that we're supposed to use the big gun. All right, so what size is this?
15.
15. So can we find a 15 that fit a 1/2-inch gun?
19.
Actually,
15.
No, 15 you need it for that side. I need a bigger one for that side, actually.
Like a 16 or
I
a
think it's
17?
17. 17 or 19. Ooh, 17 indeed. Yes, it's 17 right here, right? Ooh, a beautiful piece of metal.
One beautiful piece of metal.
Yes. Mechanic hands. You use those for everything, even hammers. All right. Make sure we turn properly. Okay, I would have unscrewed that thing. We're gonna flip it over. There we go. Now it's tighten. All right, I want to use a 15 wrench for this side of the tire.
15.
Okay, so at the beginning,
Seems a little, like, way too big. Hold on, let me try a 14. Yeah, it's a 14.
oh, okay, 14. All right, 14 it is. Okay, so we want to tighten everything just a touch, but not too much because we still want to adjust the wheel back and align it so it goes dead straight. And make sure the chain's not touching anything.
I'm pretty sure the chain tensioner is touching this wood. Yeah, it is.
There you go. Probably better there. Okay, so let's just give it just a tiny little turn. Okay. So that should be okay. Now we need to tension our bolt. All right. So what you're doing here is you want to make sure that the tread is going right through with your shock absorber, and that's going to show you that you're aligned straight. So now, I don't know if you guys can see that, but the wheel is actually pointing a little bit more that way. So keep that on the back. I don't know, can you see this? So now we just have to adjust those bolts on the side. So start unscrewing the bolt. No, that's a nut. Yeah. Unscrew
This is
the
the
bolt.
13.
Yeah, it's a 13. Nice and slow, and every time he does a little turn, it lines up that tire a little bit more.
Is that good?
Let's see here. No, I still need to line it way more. After that, we're gonna need to bring this for a ride to make sure it's going straight, eh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move those on this side.
Is that good?
Nope. So this side actually originally was, that bolt was way out compared to the other side. And probably what we're going to have to do again.
Yeah, and we also have to make sure that it's adding tension to the chain too.
Well, the tension is going to be, you have your chain tensioner that's holding the right tension on there all the time.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about it. And the thing is, because your bike is raised up right now, the wheel is actually lower than usually. So that's why it's almost touching the top arm here. You don't have to worry about it until it's back on the ground, and we can do final adjustment later on after that. Henry, you should be able to fit 3 finger between the arm and the chain, then you know you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the tip.
Or like right here or something.
Yeah. But it's gonna move after we're adjusting everything. All right, so this is actually still riding out crooked on there. That needs to go out way more. Okay, getting there. Oh, it's almost perfect now. I believe how like after the other boat barely has to move it, and this one we have to really crank it. I would call this good.
Try looking from like back there again.
Yeah, I'll look for further. Yeah, it's good to me.
Mm-hmm. This is super tight though, like the chain tensioner is touching the swing arm.
Oh, okay. It's not too good then.
We need to just tighten both.
Let me see if I can tighten this bolt on this side here. Oh yeah, this one wasn't all the way in. So maybe I'll put it back all the way in. And then I should be able to, yeah, put it all the way in and I'll lock it like this. See that? I didn't even need to be on your bike and I'm making the front wheel lift. All right, so turn it the other way. Yeah, I want to drive it back in. That's the 14 here. Yeah, move this back and forth. You're doing that. Oh, you know what? Maybe we're a bit too tight because this side here is actually not touching on the piece. All right. Let me try to give that a bang. Might have to loose up everything.
Okay.
My fault. Okay. So now, pretty much touching on my side. How's the belt tensioner now?
It's about like, I would say half an inch away from the swing arm.
Oh, okay. That's better. I'm all the way out. I'm all the way in here. I cannot go in more. And then this side here, it's actually touching too. Okay. It looks like
Oh, there is a master link on this. It's not like
Yeah.
my bike.
looks like to me that we're good right there. It looks straight. We're in. We have some play in the chain. Yeah, can almost put 3-finger, but I cannot go in more with that. And if we end up adjusting this more, then we're going to end up having the tire crooked.
So I think we should lower it now. We'll tighten this and then lower it.
Yeah, tighten it, lower the bike and see what happens. All right, nice and
Oh,
tight.
the light.
Timber. Sorry. Okay. Didn't fall on you.
No, just tap my knee.
All right. So now we'll move the tools out of the way. And those spacers here, we're all gonna keep those because you know, you got a smaller one or another one or something like that is good to have spare ones, right?
Yeah. Can't tell what size
Henry
this is.
says that's the way I used to set my daughter's race bike. Which kind of bike was she riding? It'd be interesting to know.
I can't find what size this is.
That's 1 inch.
Yeah, but I don't know which millimeter.
So if it's 1 inch, you want 10 millimeter. That's the thing.
Oh. Then where does this one get?
Okay, so we're just gonna move a couple tools out of the way. And then after that, we're going to lower everything.
Okay, wait, I remember where this goes. Right here.
Anybody else drive their bike, ATV? We have another Chinese, we have a Chinese ATV at the cottage. We're going to go, actually next week, we're going to go riding.
Yep.
So I have the Ego bike over there, and then, yeah, that's, oh, she was driving a 125cc. Yeah, that's a 125cc. That's a Chinese over. Oh, Yamaha two-stroke.
Wow.
She was probably like lifting that front wheel off the ground quite a bit, eh? So for all the parts that we're using today, we're going to have that onto my Amazon store. Okay, so I think that we're pretty much ready to put this back down. You remember how to use the jack to put it back down?
Yeah, you press this.
No, don't forget, you have to hold your bike because there's no stand on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I haven't installed this yet.
So, but we have the stand needs to be up so it can actually lift the bike.
It's not going.
No? Okay, I'll help you with it. It might be this one here.
Oh yeah, that's what I was pressing, but it's not
Oh, yeah.
going down anymore.
You know what? Yeah, it's not ours, so. It's not ours, so I'm not used to it. I think you have to pull this first, actually. Because I think, yeah, see, that's the lock here.
Oh,
So this is a lock, so that if you hit this by accident, it doesn't slide all the way and bring it all the way down. So there's bars in here, so you lift it. Now it's unlocked. Now I can lower it.
okay. So much lower now.
Yeah. That is what you can stand.
Okay.
All right, now I'm going to hold it and then look at your chain. See how much your chain tensioner is. So there's still space at the bottom. Okay, I'll try Henry's trick with the 3 finger.
Yeah, I
Right.
can fit 3 fingers.
Perfect. 3 fingers and it's still had a bit of play on the chain tensioner.
I'll think we're touching here. It's pretty close, but we're not.
Okay, does the wheel still seem straight when you look from the back?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You can look.
Everything's moving good. Yeah. Straight enough for me. Guess I just have to bring it for a spin now and see if everything is right here. Yamaha 125. I'll show on. It's a fast bike. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
What about your bike? How fast do you think this one goes, Hunter?
Online, some people have gotten it to go up to like 110 kilometers per hour.
We're doing a live stream right now. You want to say something? No? This is the behind the camera. Okay, so sorry. Say that again. Online, people were saying how fast?
Well, some people were even able to get it up to 110 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
That's pretty fast, especially
Yeah.
for a Chinese bike.
Yeah. How fast do you think you'd ride it?
Me?
Yeah.
I think probably just like 75 max.
Yeah. You ever put the GPS in your pocket? And
No,
see how
I haven't
fast?
done the
That'd be cool.
speed test.
No?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, let me bring those streamers the other way. Oh, I think that we're going to have to go and test this bike out now. Okay, before we go though, there's a few people still watching, and I wanted to let you know some inside stuff.
It doesn't do the sound. Yes. It doesn't sound like crap.
Before the wheels are in, you want to see hearing it, but
Yeah, and every time.
so it was like we could hear it breaking, but we were not sure what was going on. Okay, big thing that's going to happen soon, and I don't know if you guys have any Milwaukee tool and Milwaukee battery, but you know that I'm doing that stuff for Team Water right now, and we're raising some money. And I got that company Melif that has been very good to me. There's been sponsoring some projects in the past, and they're sponsoring a water pump for tests because, as I said before, in the month of August, I'm gonna try to do lots of water kind of things there. So because of that, we're going to review more water pump. We already have, I think, two water shorts that came out, explaining Team Water and what it's all about and all this stuff, and put a little bit of organic thing and the bike thing in there. Water pump team. Now there's one water pump from Melif that we've been doing the other day. We tested that, and that was a great video. And after that, we tested the YOB one, and then Melif sent me another water pump. I'll show that to you. So it's gonna be a test. I'll probably film that this weekend, but I want to do a treat for you guys. So they sent me this water pump test, but they also want me to do 2 giveaway for it. So I'm going to do, I have to figure out how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do a draw with 2 giveaway for the subscribers and people that watch the channel. So stay tuned for that. If you don't want to miss the video, I'll probably end up doing a quick review video myself with it. And then after that, we'll do another quick review video, but probably in some garage. And we're going to stream. And because of that, I was able to see who's participating. And we're going to do a little game and actually draw 2 of those. So those Melif makes tools that are compatible with brand name stuff. So they're compatible with Milwaukee battery. Some of their stuff is compatible with DeWalt, and some of their other stuff is compatible with Makita. So all the red stuff usually is compatible with Milwaukee, and this is the pump that we're going to do the draw. So if you have Milwaukee battery, make sure that you join the live stream whenever I go live with this pump, because you might be a winner. Melif will ship directly to you. Don't get fooled by any scammers out there that will tell you that you have to pay for shipping and all that stuff there. If somebody said that, then it's not from me. So don't play that game. It's going to be totally free. Melif is going to ship through Canada and US to the 2 winners. No cost to you. All that stuff is going to happen through email, through my ToolSpec Gmail email, and this is how we're going to contact the winner of the giveaway. All right, so yeah, that's the interesting thing going on right now. So unfortunately for a test for the dirt bike to make sure that it's running good, we have like a 5-minute walk from home to do. I don't know if you guys want to follow along and see how it's running. or if you guys want to just cut it short today, but if you want to follow along, I don't mind. I'll bring the equipment with me and I can film that. But yeah, for the repair parts, I think we're all done unless we have to tweak anything later on. I think Hunter went inside the house to put his equipment on. Sorry, that's not the apple juice, but I needed something to drink. All right, so yeah, I think he went to put all his protection equipment on, and then usually I don't let him ride in the street. The bike is not insured, obviously. For street, it's not street legal. So we're going to push it all the way to the park and go for a spin and try it over there. Hopefully everything works fine. All right, so I think everybody logged off from the horizontal live, so I'm gonna shut that one out, and then I'll bring the vertical live with us. Let's see what's going on there. All right, thanks for watching. It's pretty hard to do like two live stream together. I never did that before. It was the first time there.
Otherwise done.
Yeah. But we're going to bring the vertical live with us, just in case people want to see.
All right.
That was a long repair. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be that long for the repair.
Yeah. It
But
didn't feel like that.
yeah, no, it didn't feel like that long. But the thing is, we're taking time to explain step by step what we're up to, so it always takes longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have that lift here that I said. I'm gonna take the phone off of this. Okay, I'll turn this around. So we have that lift that we borrow from the neighbor. So the advantage of this one here for a dirt bike lift is you can press that red pedal and then it brings everything up nice and easy. And then you press the black one and it'll bring everything back down super quick. Now the disadvantage of it is this base here. So you need to be able to store it somewhere where it won't be in your way, but the base doesn't really fold. So because of that, I cannot just stack it underneath the toolbox. So because of that, I got that other one, but this one is borrowed anyway. My friend let me borrow it. So we got this one here. This one actually doesn't have the quick jack like this. It's actually a hand crank, but you can take part of the crank out and use a socket on it and zoom it up and zoom it back down. And because of this one stays, because there's no jack on there, then her bubble jack or nothing, then it's just like, how do you call that? An infinite bolt or whatever. It's like a scissor lift pretty much. Because of that, this one stays small and very close to the ground. So I'll be able to actually fit it underneath the toolbox. Just like this. I haven't opened it yet. I'm interested in opening that and check it out. So yeah. Hunter's almost ready for going for the ride and seeing if the bike is actually running good. I think I'm gonna bring this little device. So for the vertical live, I had it in there, and the horizontal live were in here. And then I'm going to try to bring you guys with this. Then it doesn't make it as shaky when I'm walking. And hopefully I have enough battery life left over. And it'll work good. Are you ready to go on there?
Yep.
Let's see that. Oh, looking good with all the gears on. All right, so I'm just gonna close the garage and then I can start walking to the park and go for a test. That's the other thing I have to work on next is actually the boat. The boat from the back.